fuck.
Immediately the sign falls down. Fucking glorious.
Welcome to the It's Always Saturday podcast, because when you're with the boys, it's always Saturday. We got our boy, Noah McKinnon over here.
What's up, guys?
We vibing hard.
You really do.
Spencer's also here. Shit's just fucked right now.
Yeah,
I'm
we
Spencer
we got caught up with our pre-podcast rituals. We kind of forgot to set up properly.
We vibed too hard, and now we're paying the price.
Yeah.
That's just the way she goes sometimes.
So UFC 247 was this past weekend. That was...
Shevchenko's a fucking beast.
I know. Oh my
Holy crap.
gosh.
This came not long enough.
Like I said, what?
You don't read.
Yeah, it does. I swear it does. It has a million times.
Major production value.
We have not had that many episodes.
There we go.
Alright, that's a fact good enough.
All right.
You're almost
like
like
I
digits. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like I said, when we were watching the fight, when she kicked, whatever her name is, it sounded like someone was taking a wooden plank and just smacking it against her. That's how powerful her kicks were. It was ridiculous.
Right after round one, her outer thigh was just bright red.
Had a big old welt on it.
Oh, her eye was gushing, and then Shevchenko's just easy breezy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. That was
grand old time. Guys, don't forget the note, which is Talk Like the Mic is over there.
Right.
Loud and proud, boys. Well, I casually, for the audio-only listeners, the BDSM is about to begin. For the visual listeners, I'm just about to tape up a sign.
Alright.
Why is there a man crying on your laptop, Ian?
I'm
That's
looking
how
up.
Ian gets hyped up. He has to watch someone break
Showing
down
you defeated.
emotionally.
I was looking up Turkish.
Turkish men crying.
No, Turkish get up proper form, because I have a new personal trainer, and that's one of the exercises that he has me doing.
Turkish man cry form. When you start to lose, learn to cry properly. Very important.
Yeah. And then the Jones fight. That was very close. It was
That
close.
was really close.
It was close, but I watched it again, and I
I
understand
haven't.
why Jones won,
I haven't
because
rewatched it.
Reyes
You good?
I'm doing great.
Ooh.
Don't even worry.
Nice view there for the folks at home. There.
looking thick back there.
Ooga.
What was I gonna say?
Some high-key thickery. Tape is hard.
I'm not barely in the frame.
Can you pass me the scissors?
Where's the
Where are
scissors?
they?
It's right behind your laptop in the cup that's holding up the apron.
Oh yeah.
Sick. Thanks, homie.
This has been a
Real high
fantastic
budget.
start.
Oh, yeah. No,
Um,
you're going great.
Yeah. And then, I understand why Jones won, though, because Reyes barely outstruck him. John Jones had more significant strikes, and then if you add in the takedowns as well as the octagon control, you can see why he won.
I would also say that if they cannot dispute that the other guy won easily, I think that the existing champion should retain his title. Because if somebody can't sufficiently beat the ass of the existing champ, they're not really a new champ.
True.
They're just kind of a guy that fought kind of okay on that one day.
Mm-hmm. And, Dominic Reyes did a lot better than I thought he was going
The
to.
first few rounds, he was
Yeah, well,
It was
first
looking like
three
he was gonna
rounds,
win it.
because that's, third round is either way. He definitely won the first two. And then Jones took over in fourth and fifth,
Cuddling with my
the
boys.
championship rounds. And I feel like that played a big factor as well, because to win a championship, you have to fight for 5 rounds, versus every other fight is only 3 rounds. So I feel like the fact that Jones dominated those ones played a big factor as well.
Ian. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and but the whole how one judge had Jones up 4 rounds to 1.
Yeah, 4 to 1 was
that's
not how it
ridiculous.
was.
And then
Oh.
that other fight with Martinez and the
Yeah, that
American,
one got me heated.
That one was ridiculous.
Because I think Martinez won, and they gave him 0 out of 5.
yeah, that was ridiculous.
Which was not
And
factual.
The problem is that UFC fights are judged by people who don't fight.
Mhm.
They're judged by people who either I'm pretty sure they're judged by people who judge boxing.
Yeah,
It's not the same.
It's
It does.
really different.
It does depend on the state. As I remember what you were saying. It does depend on the state that it happens in.
Yeah.
But typically, there isn't a MMA judging
No.
board. It's
There's
just
not.
people are like, well, we watch fighting and we watch fighting, so it's the same thing.
How different can they be?
No, you can't kick people.
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can't-
tackle somebody
Yeah.
in boxing.
It's very... And the 10-point scoring system that they took from boxing is also not good. Like, there are so many more variables. Like, there's punching, yes, but there's also elbows, there's knees, there's kicking, there's takedowns, there's grappling. Like, it's all... There's so much more.
I think, well, because I know that Joe Rogan was advocating that former MMA fighters
Yes,
become the judges.
I would like to see that as
My
well.
issue is that means eventually Nate Diaz
Oh,
potentially be a judge. So my issue is no matter how it's scored, unless it's with shapes and colors, he's not going to be able
He's
to
not
do
going to
it.
know what the fuck is
I
going
think they
on.
gotta get off the 10-point system.
They-
They'll have to have a 5-point system.
They have
for
to
Nate.
get exactly only 5 points for
Only
Nate.
5 points.
Well, because that's the concern is what if the people that get hit in the head a bunch have so much CTE like Nate Diaz? I think it was the thing with Usman talking shit about
Masvidal.
Masvidal, saying he didn't even knock out Nate Diaz.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He was like, "Am I worried?" That was the question. Was like, "Am I worried about standing and trading with Masvidal?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not. Like, he couldn't even knock out Nate Diaz." And he also like compared him to Tyron Woodley, which is like Tyron Woodley is like one of the best welterweights ever, and he's like very much like an explode, like powerful, like if he catches you with a right hand, like he could knock you out. So it's like
Yeah.
I stood with him, so it's gonna be easy to stand.
Bro,
with
I
Masvidal.
stand with Hillary. That's what we need. We need more of that in the UFC. Is Hillary Clinton propaganda? God, I hate that woman. Avidly.
Bro, let's get her in the UFC.
Hillary in the UFC.
Hillary
Bro,
in the UFC.
Hillary v. Bernie. Dana
Bro.
White. If the fans
When
want
the
it,
fans want it.
we can make it happen.
I know you seem to have like kind of a beef with Dana White, but I
I
love
just think
Dana
he's-
White.
I think he's goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't do shit. People ask for fights, and then on Twitter, all he does is say, "If the fans want it, we can make it happen." It's like, who? Thank you, Dana. Who invited you? It's kind of like
He's the president. What do you mean who invited him?
He invited everyone
exactly.
else.
He,
It's his party.
he invited himself, and he doesn't need to be there. I'm saying, you know how y'all seen The Office?
Mhm.
You know, there's like that bit where there's no manager for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And they all do fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the UFC could be the same way. People just go at it, Wild West, pure
The problem
anarchy.
is that that's how boxing is, and matchups in boxing suck. Like the because they're part of the UFC, Dana White can say, because like there's like titles in the picture, so you
Yeah.
can't just like pick and choose who you're gonna fight. Like one of the problems right now is that Anthony Joshua, one of the guys who has 4 of the 5 like kind of like major heavyweight belts right now,
Yeah.
and then Deontay Wilder has the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And but the one that Deontay has is like the most significant of the 5,
Mm-hmm.
and like Joshua is straight up ducking Wilder. Like there's no way around it. And Anthony Joshua was guaranteed an $80 million paycheck for 2 fights. He would get $50 million for the first one, whether he won or lost, and then in the rematch, if he lost the first one, he would get $30 million. $80 million. That's ridiculous money. And even in boxing, like $80 million for 2 fights is crazy. And he turned it down because he doesn't want to fight Wilder because he's a bitch.
You gotta love,
And, like,
you love to see it.
Joshua is like a great boxer. I personally think Deontay Wilder would beat him. But like the problem with that is like, but in the UFC, because they're all under one organization, like Dana White and a couple other guys make the fights, you can say this is the only fight that you get because it's important in the title picture.
That is good. I still don't think Dana White needs to be the one to see it, though. I think that Joe Rogan can go on the Joe Rogan podcast and be like,
Bro, let's get
yo, this dude's kind of a bitch. And then automatically it happens. We're going to say no?
Listen, let Joe Rogan run the UFC.
Get Joe Rogan.
Let's start a petition right now.
Petition to have
Joe Rogan is the president of the UFC now.
buy out the UFC.
Joe Rogan versus Dana White in the UFC.
You know
Let's
what I
make it
think?
happen. The fans
Okay.
want it. We'll make it happen.
You know
The
what?
fans
If
want
the
it.
fans want it, okay, you know what I want to see?
He also looks like Patrick Starr, which doesn't help.
I want to see. Okay, so
Well, you know, actually,
John,
can we pause 1 second?
for sure.
Because we haven't addressed something. Noah, who the fuck are you? Why should we care
Oh.
that you're on the podcast?
Yeah.
Why is anything relevant about you? I know we don't have anything planned regarding this, but
Yeah?
just go off. What makes you a relevant individual in general?
Hi, I'm Noah. I've known Spencer since grade 7. We were in gym class together, and
We
our
were.
friendship has grown since then.
Yes, it was a little rocky at
It
one
was,
point.
it was a bit rocky at one point.
Did
Yeah.
you guys fight?
No.
Nah, but yeah, it was weird.
What was the
Spencer-
beef?
I had a crush on the girl Spencer was going out with.
Was this the psychotic one?
This was the
Yeah.
psychotic one.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
You know what's also unfortunate?
What?
I park next to her every morning to go onto the bus because we start at the same time, and it
Fuck.
sucks ass.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I remember
legit.
I hated your guts for a bit because.
Oh, I had your guess for a minute.
Well, it was like I knew she was going out with you, so I was like, I'll just like be friends
I
with
just
her.
hate Spencer.
But then I remember we were texting one night, and she just out of the blue said, "Hey, if you make a move for me, my boyfriend's gonna beat you up." And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
Spencer can't beat anyone up. What is this? What kind of threat is that?
I mean, this was when Spencer and I were both in our fat phases.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would have been
junior high.
two hefty
Two
lads.
hefty-
Two hefty lads just
And you
Just
know,
swinging.
going at it.
I think, frankly, Dana White should have stepped in and said, "If the fans want it."
Fuck yeah.
But nah, well, because the thing I remember. So this would have been 8th grade,
Yeah.
which is a terrible phase of any human's life.
Worst year
It
of
wasn't for me.
everyone's
It was
life.
well, not for you. because you peaked in like the 5th grade and have been riding that.
Bro, I just vibe hard constantly.
But yeah, because I remember one time she and I were in a fight, and she was like, "I just hang out with Noah, and he stared at my tits the whole time, and I let him."
The fuck?
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? The fact I
Yeah.
didn't leave her right then for how weird that shit was. But yeah, we've been vibing since.
We have been.
Mhm.
After I pretty much cut her out of my life in grade
After
9.
I also cut her out of my life.
Yeah. But I remember she was the person who there was one day she was just like breaking down, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she like kept telling me, "You wouldn't understand," like that shit.
Yeah, she's
like,
that
you
type.
wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't
And then
understand.
that night, I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah, I was just really mad at you because I was really upset, and all you did was ask if I was okay and ask what was wrong." I'm like, "Okay,
So,
you're crazy."
what else are you supposed to do?
I know, right? I was supposed to no, Ian, it's my fault because I'm not psychic, so I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on.
See, Ian's never
Obviously.
actually talked to a woman, so he doesn't
Yeah.
know what this is
Ian's
like
never
yet.
seen
I've
a
never-
woman
yeah.
before.
I've
But
been very sheltered. My
Mama.
mom said I can't see a woman until I'm married to her. So,
They have like she programmed his mind. You know, like horse blinders where they have like the thing on the side. It's like that, but he can't actually
I just see, like,
It's like that one
gray spots.
that one
like,
Black Mirror episode. Have you guys
Oh,
seen
yeah,
Black
the-
Mirror?
yeah,
the one where
yeah.
it's like you're blocked, but it's like
Oh,
you
yeah.
see and everyone's like fuzz.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ian, like half the population is just a fuzz. So
Yeah.
Yeah, his mom took out Ian's capacity to see, but also
differentiate.
there's
All
a
women.
side effect, which is that he also lost any capacity to respect women. So he cannot see or understand or value women. It's
Yeah.
quite a combination. It's done wonders for his love life.
when did we meet?
We meet? We were in the same drama class.
No,
in junior
me
high.
For us?
and me and Noah.
So I knew about I heard about Ian
Of
because
course
I
you
saw
did.
opera dubstep. In grade
Hell
7,
yeah.
everyone told me about opera dubstep, and when you jumped out of Mr. Bauer's desk and scared him,
Oh yeah,
Like,
it was like the legend of
the
Ian
legend of
Hall.
Ian Hall. I never got to meet him in grade 7. I don't even think grade 8. But then I realized grade 9. I was walking home, and that's when I realized we like lived down the street from each other,
Yeah.
and it took us 3 years to find out about it. And then yeah,
And
then we just started
vibing
vibing.
hard ever
Yeah.
since.
I love that video
Yeah.
so much.
Oh.
We need to put that on the Instagram. I know you hate it.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Jamie! Oh, I need to stop playing with the water bottle.
Uh,
I give you so much shit for
I
like making
know.
noise, and I'm just like crinkle, crinkle, fun. But
that's
Yeah,
really
that's
my
good.
thought process. Like,
it's
Crinkle, crinkle.
well,
fun.
because I remember because I recently but also one person that wanted to watch the podcast said they're gonna take a shot for every time you clear your throat, so try not to kill him.
He just cleared his throat.
Oh, we're up to 2. We're up to 2.
I know who you're talking about,
Yeah.
and I will
You
clear
won't-
my throat many, many times.
You're gonna up the dosage.
Yeah.
But also, 3's enough for
Okay,
a
now I
start.
have to clear my throat.
No, not for you.
Okay.
It's just Ian. It's for if you and I say
Okay.
What I was gonna say before was that
Yes.
okay. So John Jones' last two title defenses. The first
Good
one.
job remembering. I'm genuinely proud of you. Keep
Oh
going.
yeah, I'm crushing it. So his last two title defenses was against Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes, and they both were very, very close. In my opinion, the Thiago Santos one was closer than the Dominic Reyes was. But what I want to see is after Stylebender, Israel Adesanya fights Yoel Romero,
But it's gonna be a sick fight.
which is gonna be good. You guys should
I didn't
watch.
realize what Romero's nickname is. The Soldier
The
of
Soldier
God.
of God. He's
That
a man
is
of God.
sick.
Yeah.
That is just.
Anyways,
It's got God on his side. I don't know.
so
It might have got Jesus.
Jesus. I don't know. Stylebender's taking on Jesus and Romero.
I want to
that's a
see.
cool-
So after that fight, I want to see
Team it.
because John Jones and Israel Adesanya have been talking mad shit
Mm-hmm.
because, in my opinion, John Jones is afraid of Adesanya because no one in the UFC can strike with Adesanya. He's so good.
He's got mad lank.
Yeah, he's got mad.
Yeah.
He
lank.
got lank.
So
If you bet on lank in any UFC fight, I think I've said it
reach
last
is
time.
very important.
If they got the reach and they're not American, or if they're American and have a lot of religious tattoos, then they're gonna win. That's just a
Bet
fact.
on the Russians.
Or
Russians are a different breed.
well, that is true.
Like,
If they're out east, it's cold, not much to do. They just beat the shit out of each
Yeah.
other.
if
so I
their
want
last name has two sh sounds,
Oh, if they-
chances are they're
If there's
winning.
multiple chus,
Chus.
you're fucked. When the two chus roll up for a fight, if the fans want it.
fans want it. So yeah, I want after Adesanya fights Romero, I want John Jones and Adesanya to fight, and then I want Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos to fight, and whoever wins that gets another shot at John Jones if he retains his title versus Adesanya.
I think that feels solid.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I'll
It's a
concur.
good time. You concur?
I concur with
A
I
that.
feel
bold
like-
stance.
Like that's like the dream, but I also feel like Jones and Adesanya probably aren't going to fight because one of them
He's
is a
such a
middleweight,
dope-
other one's a
Yeah.
light heavyweight. That's a 30-pound jump.
Yeah, I don't think either of them really want to make the weight difference.
I mean, John definitely can't go down
Mm-hmm.
because he's already like a decently big. Like he could fight at heavyweight,
Yeah.
but so
It's like
Adesanya
30
would have to
pounds
go
for
up.
Adesanya to go up.
I think that could be sick though, because I know like when McGregor put on the weight to get up in his classes, that made the fights more interesting in my opinion. I think my favorite weight category, I think, is light heavyweight,
Light heavyweight.
because they aren't so fat as the big guys that they can still move around fast, but they have like those quick strikes. It's basically just the jacked category in my opinion, where it's either there are some dudes that are fat in there, but you know that most of them aren't, so you just sort of gotta take it. I like the league. I think it's a good one.
Oh, and the UFC just updated its pound for pound rankings. So they used to have pound for pound. They used to have female and males in the same like pound for pound rankings, but they changed it now. So now it's or no, I guess it's still like this on this one, but I can look on here. They changed it, so now they separated them. So Dominic Reyes came up to number 15.
I'm trying to.
Tyron Woodley's at.
Ian is currently watching a video on his phone going through them.
McGregor moved up to 9.
Oh, that's sick.
And number 1 is always John Jones. Number 2
Yeah.
is Nurmagomedov. And number 3 is Henry Triple C Cejudo.
I was hoping he'd leave it at Henry. And number 3 is the classic Henry.
And for the women, Amanda Nunes is number 1 and Valentina Shevchenko is number 2.
Women? They must join the dark side.
I would say I would never ever want to do anything even close to fighting with Valentina Shevchenko.
Well,
I
you
would- I
die.
would
That'd be
die.
why.
I would die.
You wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
It's not a fight that
Anybody
you can
would.
make.
I can't. Yeah.
That's one of the.
You
Just
die.
imagining getting hit by a 2x4 constantly, like over and over again.
And then she's so aggressively polite that you would
And then
feel
she
bad for
helps
being
you-
mad.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, damn, she beat me up again. It's like, hey, great job. Oh, thanks, you too. Fuck.
Yeah, you just get right on this. She was like, because I remember when she won her fight, and as well, for any people that watch the odds on fights, which I like to, any fight with Shevchenko, it is comedic how much he has the advantage.
Like, if you bet on the other person, even a small amount of money, by some miracle they win, you will make a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, because I remember we had a good friend of ours, Butler, who is also a math... I remember we got drunk in my basement. Our good friend, Eric Butler, told us how, like, Vegas betting works. And Noah's response just kept us being like, "Still, it's percentages." It was not percentages.
I was trying to be smart, but with people smarter than you, it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, that is the tough part. Alcohol doesn't help that either.
Yeah.
But you're trying your best. It's about that time. We do also... I remember from a while ago, we had a suggestion for a topic from the Bamboozler. This is from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Which was just opinions on fascism.
I mean...
Pro?
I think the Fuhrer gets a bad rap.
When you look at it, 6 million? Seems like maybe it happened, but like that's a lot.
Did you see? Did you see that shit with that one Holocaust denier, and the other guy was like trying to convince him, and he convinces him, and he's like, "Well, I guess it happened, but 6 million."
Oh, that's goofy. I think, well, fascism as a concept, if you take anti-Semitism, as linked as it is to fascism, out of it, swear to God, if you take that out of it, just the idea of like a totalitarian state, let's just talk about that. Should the government control everything?
No.
No?
No.
We got 3. Well, I'm pretty much most likely the least libertarian, but still also think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Anything that you can put where the government just has to like check it, it should be that way.
Like government's just like, they smoking crack.
It's alright.
Let's
legalize
tax that
all drugs.
Oh yeah, I think that's also the best idea. Well, there's one thing that I've been thinking about recently. This isn't related to the topic, but it was an argument about gun crime, saying that people are arguing that guns should be banned. Ooh, we got Bamboozler in chat. What's good, BB?
Hell yeah.
Well, there's one argument that really pisses me off, which is that people are going to get access to guns anyway, so banning them wouldn't do anything. So by that logic, nothing should be illegal because people break the law anyway.
I mean, I like that. Nothing should be illegal.
No, we have a new bold stance. Legalize everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fan of legalizing dueling again.
Oh, bro, I wanted to talk about this because I'm also in favor of that.
I think it's a great concept.
You sign like an agreement that says like
there's a contract.
Imagine just someone pisses you off. You take a glove, slap him across the face, and then you shoot him. Because that's how they're like, "Yo, I want to duel you." They like take a glove and smack people.
Exactly. Yeah, you smack them.
That's
a formal invitation to a duel.
Yeah.
You go to like a bunker. You sign off. It's an enclosed area so people can't get hurt. And then they just shoot at each other. Yeah. Because clearly, if you can't solve an issue with words, then y'all can just fucking shoot each other.
Yeah, I also think that there should be like kind of like a lower tier. Like kind of like
a paintball match.
No, like
like a knife fight.
Like if you're like if some guy's like fucking with you at the bar and you're like, all right, like let's throw down. You like both consent and then you just go outside the bar and you just beat the fuck out of each other. And the only rule in that one is that you can't kill the other person.
I think that would be an interesting concept. Well, it's because there's like just if you had somewhere like a bar had a registered like fight square.
Yes.
And then the bar has a ref. You can just have them there. When somebody says yield or uncle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you just have some rules. Shake hands. One person says stop. Ref pulls the person off.
It's kind of like basically the UFC, but for people who can't fight.
Yeah. Imagine if in the UFC, instead of like tapping or shit, they just start yelling uncle.
Yeah, they should.
Can you imagine, like...
But if you're getting choked out, it's very difficult to communicate over the roar of the crowd to the ref.
Yeah, so, then I guess you don't make it. But I think it's a good concept, just fighting being more normalized. Because realistically...
That's what you said. You wanted us to walk around with hand wraps on, so you could just walk
Yeah,
around.
that's what I'm saying.
He wanted to walk around with hand wraps on himself, so he could fight anybody.
He's like, hey guys, start wearing hand wraps.
Yeah, we need
so
to
I can wear
normalize wearing hand wraps as like some fashion, so that if I get in a fight with someone, I don't have to worry about breaking my hands.
Exactly. See, my goal
Imagine
is
just getting in a street fight. 1 second, I gotta wrap my hands.
my goal is to be a gay icon, so then people want to dress like me, so I can help you out with that.
Fuck yes.
Start wearing hand wraps, be like, yo guys, this is how it is.
Bamboozler says hand wraps equal gay.
Exactly,
Bamboozler,
which is what
you
makes
know
them
what?
trendy.
You know that unless you're like, and even if you do, unless you get like a clean shot to the jaw or like a clean shot to their nose, and you punch with any sort of force, which I mean I'm not sure you can, but
He just thinks about how powerful his simput is as he goes to wind up.
like there's like a very, very high chance that you're gonna break your hand.
Yeah, well, because bones are like cement.
Yeah.
So if you crack somebody like on the cheekbone with your hand, like you're fucked. Like that's why, like I know Joe Rogan had also argued for taking gloves out of the UFC.
Yeah, but he wanted to do like no gloves, hand wraps.
Yeah.
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 So that way people, because
Aren't
the
hitting
gloves,
as hard.
yeah, you're not likely to get a concussion because if they hit as hard enough to give you a concussion,
Imagine
they've
how
broken
well-
their fucking hand in the process.
Imagine how smart Nate Diaz would be if they took no gloves.
Nate Diaz would be known as the next fucking Einstein
Bro,
if they
he'd
didn't
be
have
there
gloves.
with Elon Musk solving us and getting us to Mars.
Exactly. I can just imagine.
Diaz.
It's just so funny because I just imagine Nate Diaz like in a really like shitty like checker button up short sleeve though with like a really shitty clip on tie.
Pocket protector.
Pocket protector. But he has like an old cigarette like in it instead of pens. And it's like
This is the money channel.
like man, so like we're gonna get fucking Mars,
Mars.
man. Was it the fucking Mars channel? And he's like, he's in space, and Elon goes, "Yes,
Yep.
Nate." God, I love him, but I hate him because he's so dumb. He's so funny.
Yeah. Also, if you took away,
Why did Bamboozler just say, "You don't know my past, lol"? He does.
Yeah.
he does,
buddy, I've known you for a very long time.
A bold play.
And if you took away the gloves, like I feel like ideally it's like in terms of like fighting in the UFC, you want to simulate as close to like a real fight as possible. So I feel like taking away gloves would help with that as well.
Yeah, well, because you can thwack pretty fucking hard with a glove on.
Yeah.
Can't without it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oochie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay.
Ooh. I wanted to have it in a fight so bad. Like, one guy, like his UFC debut, gets like hit in the ribs real hard. Nothing cracks, but he's just like, ooh, fuck. Oh, I'm done. This is a bad call.
That was like
I'm gonna go back to my accounting degree. I'm not here for this.
That was like Joe Rogan was talking and he was like, if Floyd ever did MMA, the first time he gets cracked with a kick, he's done.
Oh yeah,
Just
no
like,
doubt.
The first time he gets cracked with a kick, he's like in the cage in there with him, and he gets cracked with a kick, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing in here?"
Yeah, God, I wish the Mayweather McGregor fight was in MMA. That would have been.
Hilarious.
Well, that
It
was
would've been really
the deal. Was supposed to be, we're gonna do a boxing match, and then we're gonna do an MMA match.
And then Floyd was like, I got the cash later.
Yeah.
Got red panties night.
Oh, got the money.
Yeah.
And then he fucking left.
Yeah.
Bamboozler just says, okay, if you say so.
Okay, if you say so.
If you say so.
Um.
What is this, the fucking correctness channel? Do you want to do your topic? I got one lined up if you want to do it.
Topics?
I can remember things sometimes. I had one topic which was, what is a pet peeve about yourself that you wish you did not have? Because I know Ian wishes he could just lather himself in feet, but he has such a hard time that he can't handle them.
Not true. That's not. We don't even.
No, what's
joke
your stance
about
on
that.
feet?
Feet, they're useful. I don't see the attraction.
But you
Sexually,
find them
though.
like disgusting though?
No, I'm just like, hey, can you keep your feet away from me? But I'm not gonna like. I'm not like you, where I like someone needs to have socks on. Like if Spencer didn't have socks on right now.
No, he's asked me to put
first
socks
off-
on before.
First
Yeah.
off, that's a little gay if you didn't have socks on. But
Yeah.
second, I'm not gonna be like, bro, you need to get some
fuck.
socks on right now.
Well, I got gnarly ass feet, which does not help.
Bamboozler says being alive is my pet peeve.
Oh shit. It's a deep cut.
That's facts, though. That's just straight up for him.
Something pet peeve about myself. Did you like have one in mind for yourself?
No.
There's nothing wrong with Spencer.
Nothing wrong with me. I was just gonna say anti-Semitism, which is
Bro, my
not
hair
true.
is too
Not true.
blonde and my
We
eyes
got-
are too blue.
We got 3 blonde boys. Do you guys both have blue eyes?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
Shit! I'm the only one that's impure.
Which is
And you're the most German.
I am the most German. This is devastating.
um.
Ian's English. He doesn't even count. We just
I
got
actually-
we got an uh-oh in chat.
Uh-oh, stinky, poopy.
What would be something?
Fun.
What do I hate
What do
about
I hate
myself?
about
I was just gonna say.
No, not what you hate about yourself. What
What's
thing
a
you
pet
dislike
peeve?
about other people that you wish you could tolerate.
Oh.
Yeah, a pet peeve. Not something you dislike
I thought
about
you meant a
yourself.
pet peeve about us.
Oh, I did phrase it that way. No, a pet peeve that you
Yeah,
have
you have to
about
other
others
people?
that you wish that you did not have.
I wish that I could tolerate. No, I actually
We-
don't wish I could tolerate that. That's fucking
We're
stupid.
gonna say tolerate ugly people?
No, no. I was
We've
gonna
talked
say
about this many times.
I wish I could talk about. I wish that I could tolerate like people sucking at driving and people driving slow. But then I take it back. I don't.
Fuck them.
Like if for one, if you're anywhere on a road, unless the road conditions are horrible, you need to be doing at a minimum the speed limit.
Oh yeah.
If you're anywhere close to the left lane, you need to be doing a minimum 10 over, or you need to get the fuck out.
That is it's the passing lane.
Yeah,
It's designed to go ahead of it. There's one road in Sherwood Park, Baseline Road. Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody only drives in the left lane because all the shit, if you're going it'd be eastbound, everything is on the northern side. Everything is to the left. So people
Yeah.
exclusively drive in the left lane.
Yeah.
Which is not how road laws work.
Yeah.
So
Well,
fuck off.
What's that road called? That when you come up to that intersection where Y Road and Brentwood and Sherwood Drive meet.
I know. The road that goes past it going north, like that straight.
You know over where that cemetery is and Salisbury Greenhouse?
Yeah.
That road. I don't know what it's called. It only has one lane on each side. And I'm driving to Muay Thai today, and its speed limit is 80. Someone was going fucking 50 in it, and I could not pass them.
I just can't wait for some grandma well, it snowed last night, so I'm gonna go 30 under. I'm gonna put my car in the ditch. I can't wait for the day that, one day a granny is gonna be like, you know what? I'll go 1 kilometer faster, and immediately just no, right into a ditch.
Rolls right over.
And that's why the granny's got to be careful, because they know that they'll fucking die. God. But yeah, no, that's fair. I think I'm pretty tolerant of people in most capacities. I think that we all, both you and I, have a bad habit of if somebody's ugly, we don't really want to talk to them.
That's, yeah.
But, I think that's more of a primal thing.
I'm getting better. I have,
gotten pretty
it's
good.
my instinct to, ugh. But I'm, I have that reaction. I'm like, oh, you might actually be cool, so I'm going to talk to you.
There's more to a person than the shell. Well, how about, do you want to give your go?
So I'm trying to think,
Mormons?
there's not...
Oh, fuck.
That's kind of topical right now.
there's
You
not...
want to go off? Nobody's watching, so it's fine.
There's not lots that bothers me, except...
The Mormons.
people in grocery stores that are browsy.
Browsy.
Bro, I fucking hate browsers.
That's true. They're a
Like,
problem.
people, my mom was like, oh, we're gonna go to Costco, and I'm like, I'm what the fuck are you doing?
He's practicing for later.
Okay.
Drinking some water.
He's got to open the hatch for after the podcast. We got pre-podcast and post-podcast rituals.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. No. But yeah, I was like, we were
I'll
at
get my
Costco.
What'd you do to your tongue?
I bit it.
You
Come
bit
on,
your
man.
tongue.
God damn you.
Do you want to refill your water
Yes,
bottle?
I do.
Absolute
Don't. Ian, I
disrespect.
swear to God, you need to not even graze that. I have soundproofing very lightly pinned into the back of a chair. It falls off very easily. Everything here is on a tight wire.
The absolute disrespect of Ian Hall.
It's devastating. That's a pretty constant thing for Ian.
That is true.
Well, it's basically if you're not a straight white man. Like, that's why he degrades me constantly. I'm just...
That's why I'm the lucky one.
Oh,
Where's
yeah.
my dick in your ass?
Oh,
Like I said, post-podcast rituals. Well, we can sort of go off on the... this is sort of going into more spiritual-ish aspect. What do you think of the concept that the mind and the body are separate entities, or that the mental realm is separate from that of the physical?
I vibe. I
You
agree.
fuck with that?
Yeah, I think that.
Do you think it's tied to like your religious background, or?
Probably, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like your kind of like spirit,
Mm-hmm.
like, inhabits your body, and that's
Alright.
kind of like what you live life through and how you like sense things, and so you got to like keep that in tip-top shape.
Tip top.
Tip-top. And
Tip
then
top.
kind of once you die, then you go up to where the good people go, where the good Christian lads go.
And then go down, or does he go down where the Mormons go? Which is called their own planet of xenomorphia. What about you, Noah? What do you think? Do you think they're connected? Do you think they're entirely
so is it
separate?
is it like what Ian was saying, like spirit and body kind of thing, or like
Well,
mind?
it's whatever you think. However you want to interpret the question, you can go off.
Because yeah, like I'm vibing with Ian there on like the spirit kind of like inhabits the body kind of thing, and that's what
One
makes.
second. So, like, the spirit inhabits the body.
I want to do
No, but that's, like-
psychedelics because like
Who doesn't?
I
That's
like
what
just
makes you
experience like a whole nother like dimension. You know what I'm
You tried
saying?
DMT though.
Bro, I want to. Let's Joe Rogan come on the podcast.
When Ian meets up with
Joe Rogan.
DMT, if the fans want
What
it.
the fans want.
Well, because I can be not necessarily pessimistic, but I don't really come from a spiritual background. So my sort of thought is that
And that's the whole point of the podcast right here. All right, Spencer. Today we're gonna convert you.
Spencer, grab me that brick Bible.
because my view on it has basically been that not necessarily, well, I guess materialism in the sense that I don't think something exists past materialism. Like, there's your body, and your brain does the thinking. And the thinking are things clicking in your head. They're synapses firing. I don't think that there is some additional layer to it that makes it where, like, I think that your consciousness is the functionality of an organ in your head, not an external thing doing other things. I think it's just part of your body.
So do you believe that you have kind of like a spirit or not?
No.
No. Okay.
No. I think that the aspect of being
Agnostic boy over here.
agnostic. What? No. Yeah, no. Like because again, I don't come from a religious background. I know you can try to convert me if you want. Why am I wrong? Would you
Hey,
take a sip
grab
of the
that-
holy
grab
water?
that brick Bible and I'll show you.
Do you want me to? That's the Old Testament. Want me to cut to the bit where they talk about foreskins, or?
Well,
They
if
got
you
a
some
whole
scissors-
chapter.
If you got some scissors, we'll circumcise you right here.
That's we'll save that for a podcast exclusive later on. We'll make a Patreon. The first video will be my live circumcision.
Gang, for
No,
the
but like-
views.
For the views, guys,
For the
we're gonna
views.
circumcise Spencer.
As we should,
Make sure-
frankly.
Share this with your friends and family.
If anybody has any opinions in chat, feel free to voice
Yeah,
them.
let us know.
We'll read them out. Type it in. Hit that enter button. That's key.
Smash that enter button.
But yeah, no. Why am I wrong?
Well, see, my thought for it has always been because, like, growing up with that, like, strongly religious family and like going to church always. So, like, I've always thought like having the spirit is what kind of separates people.
From
Okay.
animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from animals and from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, we have our consciousness, and that's what like because like our brain's telling our body what
So
to do.
different people have different capacities for consciousness.
Keep in mind, I'm not smart, so you're using big words, which I feel attacked.
Do you want me to say them again slower?
Talk to me like I'm Nate Diaz.
No, I can. So, not like Nate. Well, no, just like I have a bad habit of using.
No, that's fine, you're a uni boy.
I'm dumb, but it's not
Mr.
like
Green Party.
no, I am dumb. It's because I'm not. I was very bad in school at young ages. I cannot spell a lot of words, so
You
it's
don't
not
spell
like
shit.
I sometimes use like complicated words, not because
To try and dumb other people down to your level.
no, because I don't know what the other word is. Genuinely.
So you learned big words, learned what those mean,
Yeah.
but you don't know what the basic word of that means.
Yeah, like if I think about it, I can like phrase things in like more simple language. But like this isn't me like, "Ooh, fucking
Look at me."
no. It's just I genuinely was so dumb at a young age that I wasn't able to
Really?
comprehend how to convey that. But now that I learned and got better as I got older, I can talk that way. So unless I'm like consciously thinking about it, I tend to use like big boy words because I don't know the other ones because I'm dumb. Like it's a weird system. Anyway, mild rant about myself. I guess that's my pet peeve about myself. I would change, but about myself, not about others. That I knew how to speak, not sounding like a douchebag constantly because I don't know other words.
Yeah.
I just have a pet peeve of myself. I wish that I was less impulsive.
Impulsive.
Yeah.
We just got the ooga booga brain.
Yeah,
See-
that's just what I got.
I wish I was more impulsive because I overthink the shit out of everything.
I just like I
Like,
don't know.
I
I just
overthink
think stuff
things,
and I just go.
And it always,
fair.
Yeah.
I overthink things, and it always ties back to I'm gonna die alone and unloved.
Oh,
It could be the most minor thing.
I think you should take this medication for that. It's called weed.
Nah,
Bro, I got some in my bag.
man. Bro, I don't want to vibe like
In
you
the
were last
bag.
Okay.
Just got a Mia Lamau from Bamboozler.
So
I feel you.
I heard this.
Mm-hmm.
So Pakistan
Mhm.
is the government is going to be paying for transgender transition surgeries. Can you guess why?
So they stopped complaining.
No.
Why is this?
Because they hate gay people so fucking much
That they'd rather
that
be
they'd
trans.
rather they be transgender.
Can we get a moment? Round of
They
applause. Real quick.
don't want dudes fucking so badly that they will pay for them to transition to female.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it's because I think that's kind of
modern problems require
require modern
modern
solutions. I think that's kind of like the issue with like a lot of bottle flip. Like in the West, I think a lot of people that have like rigid gender identities that are gay.
Just wait, Bamboozler says epic Allah moment.
Like in the West, I think a lot of people that have like strong gender stereotypes as a belief that are like gay to some capacity, like just non-straight, will they tend towards being trans because they think, well, I don't want to put my penis in a vagina. These two organs not interacting. I must want the other one because I want that organ, which is such an arbitrary thing. But I think that that's sort of where that comes out the most, is that a culture where homosexuality is so non-allowed, that gender roles and gender stereotyping is so strong, that if you aren't that, you must be the other.
Why
So are they
you
having?
gay?
Why are you gay?
I was just gonna say, are they
I'm
gonna
not
find
gay.
like?
You are gay.
I'm not gay.
This may sound a little homophobic, so it probably will be. But in Pakistan, are they like finding the peeps who are like gay or like the really feminine ones and making them the women and keeping the like
Are you saying that there's like
'Cause, like,
there's like a
I know-
council and a gay couple shows
Yeah,
up and
it's
the
like-
judge is like,
I know it's not
okay,
like
you're the bottom.
Exactly.
You're a woman now.
exactly. Is that what's happening, or is it just like you roll the dice at?
Well, because it would suck
You're the
for them
one.
if they just all become women.
Yeah.
Because then they're fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think
Because then they can't find another gay man. Well, I guess maybe Pakistan is really progressive in that way. Because then, if all the gays then become women, do they do that to women as well? Do they have them become men as
Probably.
well? What a wild
What a-
time to
yeah,
be
what a
alive.
wild time.
I still think it's so whack that, like, some hormones and whether you got an innie or an outie in your pants is, like, people care so much about that. But it's like, just fucking vibe, chill.
we are.
Have a drink,
Yeah,
smoke it
it's
up.
vibe.
Don't eat pork. Is.
Yeah, I mean, what was I gonna say? Andy from The Office.
Worst office character ever.
Yes, at worst Office character ever.
Yeah,
but
Andy
also
Of all time.
the biggest simp. Like when him and Angela are dating,
Yeah.
that is
Ooh.
bamboozler simp levels.
that's
He gets
you-
cucked
Can
hard.
are you actually putting him at that level? That's a pretty strong statement. I'm gonna give you one chance to take it back to actually get to that level. Yeah, no. Well, I feel like he sucked ass at the beginning when he was just like hyper aggressive, and then like
Sucked ass when he was hyper aggressive. Then he comes back and
As
he's
a
trying to be
simp.
chill. He's a simp. Sucks then. Ruins Aaron. Poor Aaron.
Poor
Aaron is
Aaron.
the most innocent, sweetest girl in the whole show. The
Actually, I
Office.
don't really like Evan.
Evan.
Aaron.
He
She's
pulled
fucking.
out the Pakistani move. He called that the gender Uno reverse.
But she did not deserve Andy's bitch ass
True.
treatment. Where he's
she-
like, bro, we're going out. I'm going on a boat ride for like a year now.
She reminds me of
It
Nate
was
Diaz.
3 months. Yeah, she got hella Nate Diaz vibes,
Yeah.
which is just hardcore
And just,
ooga
like,
booga brain.
Biggest simp. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel like you just don't respect him, and that's
Yeah,
your
no,
main
I
concern.
don't. Like, he sucks. And everything that he does, I
does.
hate it. Like,
It's
from the
pretty
beginning
bad.
to the end. You just like him because he wears cardigans.
I don't like him.
Oh.
I think
We all agree we don't
Yeah.
like him.
he's just not.
I thought you
I
were
don't,
defending
think he, I
him.
don't think he wears a single cardigan in
I-
the show though. He wears bow ties, but he doesn't wear cardigans.
He's gay, okay?
Yeah.
He's-
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes is when he's trying to figure out if he's gay.
Oh,
To
yeah.
Oscar,
Yeah.
and he's like talking like,
I think how they handled like homosexuality on the show is fantastic.
for like an
I
early
think
2000 show.
I think
It's
it
pretty
was
fucking hilarious. Yeah.
it was really funny. I think as the resident gay, I can confirm that making fun of gay people is in general pretty funny. Bro, a friend of mine, she has a girlfriend that I have like heard of. I'd seen like pictures of, but this chick is definitely more of a man than I am.
Fuck.
Like she is like
Is it Kinley?
Kinley Twitch teams. She was spending a little too long on the rugby team. No, she like you know how like when a guy puts on the dude filter, it expands your jaw.
Yeah.
So sometimes it makes your jaw like go out past your cheekbones. This chick had that.
Natural.
She had a sturdy jaw.
Sturdy jaw.
And like, well, she was also like a well-kept, like well-maintained gay. Like she's like a kinesiology major. She's on like I think the Team Alberta handball team, maybe Team Canada.
Ah, that lines up.
It does. Yeah, with being a lesbian.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, she's very attractive, like just as a woman. But it was still like,
But as a man, oh.
but
man.
also as a man is what I'm saying. I was like, fuck, you win. You've won both. Congratulations, man. You have beaten me at my own game, which is
wonder,
just devastating.
like, how,
What do you wonder, Ian?
I'd be a good-looking woman. I would.
I think Butler would make the best-looking woman.
Oh,
Wait,
it's because
wait.
he doesn't have a jaw.
Because he does look like a woman
Yeah.
off the bat.
Off the bat, yeah.
I mean, we've all smashed that. We've all
like,
tapped
I've
Butler.
that.
We've all hit that.
Basically has a pussy down there.
Eric Butler, what a guy.
What a guy.
Good fuck. Not much for conversation.
Very quiet.
Well, he lets us borrow his Switch.
That's the whole reason.
No, he's a good guy. I do remember. I remember us talking about how ooga booga you are. Where I was saying like I was making fun of you when we were playing Switch, and you're talking about how you didn't like the controllers, and I was like, Ian's ooga booga ass is like, oh, it's got curves for corners. I don't like it. And then immediately we're like, I was genuinely just thinking
Yeah,
that I didn't like that it had curved corners. And
It's
that's
just I don't know. I've never gotten the hang of like the Switch
curves.
controllers. They're too.
Is
they're
that why
too
you're bad with
small.
women? It's like
Bro,
when
can you imagine a Switch but it had like the size of a Wii remote?
Those were the days.
Bro, okay,
If it ain't like I'm handling a meaty dong, I don't know what to do.
I feel like I'm the only person who ever remembers. Do you guys remember the old Wii commercials? Where it'd be two Japanese dudes in suits. They'd knock on the door of just a random
Yes,
white family.
I remember
They'd
that ad.
bow and be like, "We would like to play," and then all five of them are playing like tennis.
And they'd always like bow with.
They'd always
like, the,
bow with, and they hold the Wii up like it's like a great gift.
Yeah, they'd have like.
Do you remember those?
Oh, the Wiimote one.
The
Very clever name. Very dumb name. I hate it.
Wiimote.
It's like, oh, can I have the Wiimote? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I never put that.
Wait, is that what it's
Yeah.
called? It's actually called a
The
Wiimote.
the Wii remote is called the Wiimote.
I just call it a controller.
Oh.
I've never called it a
Yeah.
remote.
It's called
I'm
the
like, yo,
Wiimote.
do you have a controller?
Let me reiterate. It's
A
called
Wiimote.
the Wiimote. It's bad.
I was like, you know what? In like whenever like the Wii came out, everyone was like concerned because Nintendo was basically like, fuck console wars, I'm doing weirdo shit.
We giving you a box, put some discs in.
And but I thoroughly enjoyed the Wii as a child.
Oh, yeah.
And I still do.
I believe
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure the Wii was like the most popular console like ever in history.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
So well, and it was backwards compatible with like GameCube, which was such a relief. I love that. When me and my brothers found that out, we freaked out.
In my family, we only had the Wii. And then my mom's
Yeah, we
ex-wife
never
took
had
it in
it.
the divorce. It was a rough go. Ooh, King Pastro. Nah, PS2 beats out in sales by a little bit.
That makes sense. I was gonna say, I
PS2.
feel like the PS2 would be up there too.
I got a PS2 in a
We
grocery bag in my closet.
My little brother has like all our old systems set up in his room. So he has like a PS2, he has our old PS3 there.
I want to.
And I go and like to like play some games with him sometimes, and it's like the old music. You guys remember it was like that? And it, like that was really bad. I can't remember it.
That sounds
But it like
like
zooms in.
that sounds like
and it's, like,
Lego
the little,
Star Wars Yoda getting hit in the stomach.
Do you guys think
that brought back
that
the feels.
murderers watch serial killer documentaries and are
And
like,
for
I could
tips?
do better than that?
Do you
As
think
somebody
like,
who has seen one and thought I can do better than that, can confirm.
They're just
do you
like,
think it's like how like athletes watch like game film?
yeah, I think
Like,
so. Yeah, I think
it's
so.
like they're like, how can we improve? Like they're like actual killers watching like the Ted Bundy tapes who are like, okay, this is what he did right, this is what he did wrong.
I think so.
Probably. Well, isn't it something where a statistic is that roughly only about 30% of murders are actually solved?
I can look it up.
Well, because a lot of the time somebody just kind of dies and they're like, they have a wound. They're just in a street.
it's like-
Nobody knows what the fuck happened. There wasn't a camera there. So you know there not being a camera there. I have
There's
ran...
just so little evidence.
Well, I was just going to talk about a different anecdote while Ian looks something up. I have run 3 red lights in my life. And I have not been ticketed once.
In America, there's a 40% chance you'll get it. That's from Vox, though, so I don't know how reliable.
So Vox says 60% are solved, but it's still... Oh yeah, I might have gotten the numbers flipped in my head. But it's still 40% aren't solved.
Yeah.
That's still a big chunk. Did you guys see? It just came out on Netflix, I think. Documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats."
I
That was
I
just
saw
my
it.
life for many years. I had a phobia of cats for
Bro,
a long
I do too.
time.
I do not like
Still?
cats. I don't like cats.
My ex had a really sweet cat that
I don't like cats at all.
I grew to love the cat.
Yeah, but this documentary, it's all about like this dude who like he posted a video of him like killing cats on like online,
Oh.
and then these people were like, "Okay, we're gonna try and find this guy." So they started like, it was really creepy. Like they're like stalking, like finding all like, all right, there's the electrical outlet in his room. That doesn't look like an American one. It's probably like a European one, but it's not from the UK. So like finding different like to track this guy down, and then he like posted him murdering someone like eventually, and then they started trying to track down the murderer. Like it was insane.
Yeah. Well, there's so
ripped
much
through it.
fuck shit online. Because I remember there was one thing that I had seen. This was a story from a friend that was like the kind of guy that might make shit up for attention, but it seemed like he had an okay source. The source was Reddit, mind you, but he was
most reliable source
Source.
there is. Come on.
Well, I think it may have been somewhere it was like a news story he saw on Reddit. Anyway, it was y'all heard of 4chan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Name's familiar.
Yeah, it was basically a place where people can like make postings entirely anonymously online. So apparently one of them was this guy had like basically a scavenger hunt going on where he said like find this information. And then if he's like it was putting people on the path and he said like if you get to the end you're going to find like a dead body in a bush. And people went through it, and they went to it, and at the end, they found the bush, and lo and behold, this guy actually put, like, a dead body in a bush at the end of this thing. And I'm pretty sure they did not find out who the guy was that did that.
That's wild.
On a lighter note, I do have a German plug in this container, if you want a reference of what the different ones look like. It's got a... Is this? That's not it.
Nah.
Y'all talk about other
No,
stuff.
but it's fine. Because it was just like... The whole thing was about how this guy wanted attention, and like he'd like leave clues in all his like Facebook posts. So it's like on the channel of YouTube.
Bro, it's
he,
like a real life Riddler.
Yeah. You know what? Well, it's like on the YouTube channel where he like posted the video of him like killing the cats.
Mhm.
There was only he had no other videos, but the only post he had liked was the trailer for the movie Catch Me If You Can, which is all about like the guy who's constantly running from the police and outsmarting the police. So it was like a big like fuck you to everyone who's like, yeah, you're trying to catch me, I dare you to try and find me kind of thing.
And then they did.
And they eventually did, because it's like, well, he killed a person, and then like
Yeah.
the Montreal police got involved.
That was in Canada.
It was in Canada. He was
Fuck.
hiding out in Montreal.
Well,
So fuck Quebec.
Well, Quebec doesn't count as part of Canada.
How do you guys say Quebec?
Quebec?
I say Quebec.
Okay, because have you guys seen Letterkenny?
Yeah.
No.
They all say it differently. There's
There's, like-
Quebec, 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 Quebec.
Well, also-
Queerback.
Queerback.
Well, yeah, there's like the main ones are like Quebec, Quebec, and
Quebec.
Quebec.
But I think it's like
Which is also-
Quebec.
There's also the the correct one, which is the Quebec one.
Quebec, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because like if you ask a person from Quebec, I think the people that live
Quebec.
they're like, oh, bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, Quebec.
Quebec.
I'm from Quebec.
Quebec.
Like people, I just think like people that are from the place are right in how it's pronounced. Like people that say Calgary piss me off because that's not how you say
Ahern.
it. People that say my last name wrong, well, that's just a fuck up. That's okay.
How do you say
People say Calgary.
Yeah,
Except Calgary.
yeah, it's Calgary.
I say Calgary.
You say it wrong. If
Calgary.
that's how anybody in Calgary immediately knows you're not from there. Is you say Calgary
Calgary.
because I've
Is
debated.
it Calgary?
Yeah,
Calgary.
Calgary. Like yeah, Calgary.
But it's spelled
Calgary.
Calgary.
It's spelled, yeah, but
It's spelled Cal and then Gary, but
Calgary.
Calgary.
like
Calgary.
yeah, Calgary. Calgary.
There, that's how you say it.
Like degree. Calgary. Imagine it's R-E-E. Calgary.
Calgary.
Calgary. Calgary. Yeah, well, because you gotta imagine that the people that live there they just want to be cowboys. So like,
Calgary.
I live in Calgary. I live in
You have
Calgary.
to cut out half the syllables.
Calgary.
Instead of Calgary.
Well,
Calgary.
You're just adding a lot onto the G.
Calgary.
It's just Calgary.
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 Basically,
job,
cut
Ian.
out the second day.
Calgary. No,
Uh,
it's Calgary.
King Pastor says it's true. So many damn cowboys down there. That's true, homie. Oh yeah, I
never
checked
seen
out
more
King
cowboy
Pastor's
hats.
channel, and he's from Canada as well.
Oh hell yeah.
Hey.
So glory. We also do. Well, we host this at a very specific time of day that kind of is only convenient for people in our time zone.
Ah, true.
Even when
Yeah,
you post it on YouTube, I didn't even watch it. Whatever.
that's true.
Come on.
But that's. Ooh. Ian knows me IRL.
I do?
Oh. That is a shocking twist.
Yeah.
What a twist of events. We thought King
Alright, guys, we're
Pastor.
gonna pull a Don't Fuck With Cats. We're gonna stalk their profile until we find any clue.
Wait
to-
until they
Like,
murder
don't
somebody.
don't dox yourself, but tell me how I know you.
He can just DM us privately or on the Instagram.
I like this game.
He likes this game.
What?
Yeah, I'm about to send you some graphics I made, and y'all know who I am.
Some graphics? Like pictures?
Well, I made you boys some graphics. I'm.
Hell yeah.
We'll check it out after the podcast in the DMs.
A
Who's
bamboozler
left
says
to
I
king?
have returned.
Amazing.
Ah, shit, we can't talk about him anymore.
We can't.
Shh, keep on the deal.
Oh no, us who avidly try not to talk shit about him.
Who do you guys think is hotter, Cody Ko or Noel Miller?
Noel Miller,
Noel.
easy.
Oh, I
Easy.
think Cody Ko.
Because he's white, but yeah, Noel is very attractive.
See, I find Noel funnier,
I
and I,
also
think
find
humor
him
is
funnier.
a very attractive quality.
I think just physically better looking. I think. Well, I'm also a fan of the lanky man. I like skinnier guys.
They're both
I'm
short
not.
kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Cody's got some
See-
beef to him.
Cody's got the better hair.
Fair.
Noel's got the better humor. But I'm trying to think, like...
But like, if I had to
if
fuck
I had to
one,
fuck one...
which
Here,
you do, I send it on the Insta.
Here, I'd fuck Cody, I'd marry Noel.
You should fuck Cody, marry Noel.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's how I do it.
I would just do both to Noel. I'm a big fan.
Oh, me too. I
think-
watch more of Noel's videos.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I laugh harder when watching his videos.
I
but
really
get
like
harder
his.
watching
Yeah, no, I'm just a big fan of Noel. I think he's got a lot of good stuff. Did you watch his? He released like an independent film he'd been working on for like
No,
2
I
years.
wanted to.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
I heard that he said that it was shit.
He said his own thing was shit.
Like, it wasn't amazing. Like, I liked it. I thought the visuals were interesting. The plot line wasn't existent. Like, do you want me to spoil it, or do you care?
You can spoil it.
All right, for
You
the
will
people
forget.
that have not yet seen Suki, directed by Noel Miller, it was just whack. The guy,
Okay.
he's just a chick that murdered people. You got the graphic from
Yeah.
King Pastro.
That's what it looks like. It's like all the other days.
It's always Saturday.
So everything's cut off except Sunday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday's for God, but Saturday's for
Yeah. Sundays for God. Saturdays are for the boys.
Amazing. What a
Okay.
guy.
I actually do know this person in real life.
You do know?
Yeah, I worked with him for a summer or 2 summers.
Oh, like at camp?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Right.
Yeah.
That's some lit
You
shit,
gotta
my
print
guy.
that off and put that on the board.
Yeah.
Put that over
That's
my
dope.
calendar.
Yeah.
Never. Only for boys. Only boy time. Getting more and more violent. Oh, Bamboozler must also recognize him.
Probably.
Amazing.
He worked that year too.
Wow. Everybody knows everybody. Small world.
Small
Here
world.
I was thinking we've had our first genuine fan from outside of our own community. But, you know what? I'll take it.
Let's buy some Spotify ads.
I was gonna say
First we gotta get our
sponsorship.
stuff on Spotify.
No,
Which is-
what you can do. I was gonna say like reverse sponsor it, where you start plugging stuff. And
Mhm.
people are like, oh, we're getting so much revenue from them, we have to.
Oh, I've tried with Elder Scrolls Blades, an amazing application which you should try and download on your phone.
This episode of It's Always Saturday
If you
is
say
brought to
Raid Shadow Legends, we've made that joke so many times.
A Raid Shadow,
Shadow
Legends.
Legends, the free mobile game.
Don't know if you've heard of it, but Raid Shadow Legends.
What do you guys think about the concept of an alpha male? Is there a true like alpha male, or is there not?
Do you think like that one that everyone has to like look up to kind of thing, or is it like there is the idea of one?
I think that there are different aspects that can quantify superiority, but I don't think that's like unified in a sense. Like, I don't think that there is like this archetype of male that is better than everyone. There's somebody that can be really good in all categories, but I think that
I think the closest thing we have to like an alpha male like
is
a
Elon
silverback.
Musk.
I was gonna say The Rock,
The Rock. He's not
Yeah.
that smart though.
but like, he makes up for it with charisma.
I feel like he's pretty smart
Why?
because he's like the highest paid actor ever. He has several businesses.
Yeah, so like there's business savvy. I'm saying like straight up like how good is he at math kind of
Oh,
shit. Like,
well, that doesn't
Well,
matter.
if you look at
that
like,
doesn't make,
if
well
you
not
look
by
at
your
intelligence-
quantification.
well, like
if you look at intelligence, then probably Elon Musk is the alpha mentally. But every other category, I'd give it to The Rock.
I feel like
Fair.
there are.
I think he's just kind of old.
I
The
feel
Rock?
I feel like there are certain
I
categories.
mean, he's in great shape, but I don't know.
because
Go
there's like a whole bunch of categories for you to be alpha in.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can, and I feel like there are categories to be alpha in that are better than other categories. Like, you could be alpha as fuck at League of Legends, but no one cares.
And well, aside from the community of League of Legends,
Yeah.
then in that context, you become well as well. The person who like had like the alpha beta theory has then since said that it isn't.
Yeah,
real.
he disavowed it. But I feel
Yeah.
like, I don't feel like there's, like, a true,
I think
like, alpha, but I feel like there are certain things that you can be alpha in that will help you out more.
yeah. Well, I think it's more like society. There's lots of aspects that are hierarchical. Like there
Everything is.
exactly. So because well, no matter what, no two people are exactly the same skill level of all things at all times. On any given thing, anybody's at a different level.
Yeah.
Even if they're more experienced, they could be younger with more experience, which means they have a better capacity to achieve that. So it's just things along those lines of general hierarchies, I think can't really be disputed because that's just skill level. But as far as like, are there universal like alpha male type things? I don't really think that it's universifiable. I think it's hierarchical based on communities.
Yeah, and like, why? I don't know. Why would you want? I don't know why you would want to be like alpha at like League of Legends.
You
and
can
shit
get
like
mad
that.
league pussy. Well, like because it is a large community that has a lot of sway. Like,
Well,
it's
like,
the second
I
most
could be
popular
alpha as
thing on
fuck
Twitch.
of League of Legends, or I could know how to fight.
You'd make if you were really good at League of Legends and streamed it, you'd probably make more money off the bat. If you got more professional in UFC, you definitely would with like $1 million contracts. But like starting out, if you're really good at League, you probably make more money on Twitch than starting out with UFC.
Yeah, but also like.
But don't get the fight, people.
Yeah. Well, what other than like streaming on Twitch, like what is that gonna do for you?
You get paid to sit at home and play video games.
Yes, I understand that.
Well, it's again where you're an athletic person.
Yeah.
Like pretty undisputed. You are an athletic person.
Yeah.
That's not something that is something you had to develop. You've always been athletic to a capacity, and you've expanded in ways you saw fit.
Mm-hmm.
That is your community of hierarchy. In that person's community of hierarchy...
And I'm saying that my community of hierarchy is better.
Physically, not at League of Legends.
Not at League of Legends, but
if you
also...
two got in a fist fight, you would win. If you two got in a fist fight in League of Legends, you would win.
But I'm saying that one of those matters a lot more than the other one.
Not necessarily. Winning at League doesn't get you arrested if you do it in a street.
Yeah, I can't... I have immunity. Oh.
Oh. Would you want to be a guest?
Yeah.
Come say hi. My mother has just rolled in.
Yeah.
Surprise guest star.
Yeah. Guest star Christina Hearn has entered. Just try not to hit the stuff on the chair.
I'm not entering the room.
Please, you have entered the room.
Good.
We need to discuss this now.
No. I'm just eating something.
This is content. What are you taking from my
I
bathroom?
need cold medicine.
Cold medicine? Okay.
Sauce or that throat spray.
Oh yeah, do you want throat spray? We have throat spray.
I just...
It's
Let's
not whiteboard cleaner.
Why?
I haven't told her that story.
I need... Never mind. Just get it
I'm also out of all medication because I took all of it.
Because Spencer's addicted to cough syrup.
Well,
I'm not addicted to cough medicine.
Spencer's addicted to lean.
Correct.
empty bottle.
They are empty bottles. I meant to tell you. Sorry, bye. Come say hi. Come say hi.
I don't want to say hi.
Why don't you want to say hi?
I don't want to say hi. I guess I will. Who am I saying hi to?
6
folks at
people.
home.
Mother,
Oh,
I
see,
gave
I
you
did it.
one direction. Say hi, wave. This is my mother.
I'm not in the screen.
You are in the screen.
This is just delayed.
It hasn't shown
okay.
up yet.
Oh, it's delayed.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, there I
delayed.
am.
Look at you
Okay.
waving.
Bye.
Amazing. Be careful. Well, a thumbtack fell off now, so be careful.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Hope you get better.
Thanks.
What I was saying is that when it comes down to it,
Mm-hmm.
like, like, being good at video games helps you, like, be good at video games
Well, I
Being
guess
able
fast twitch muscles, grabbing
Yeah.
things quickly.
in your hands. And nowhere
Yeah, because
else.
hands famously
Honestly,
not
like,
useful in
no.
fighting.
So if you have a controller,
Yeah.
that's the only spot that you're good is with this controller.
Well, if the robots rise up, they can code to go against them. They can code so fast.
I'm
They
just
can button
saying
mash.
that being able to handle
fight a
yourself
robot.
in an altercation is superior to being to be able to handle yourself in a Call of Duty match. And I feel
but
like
what
Bro, but what
happens
happens when World War
what
III
has
comes in, man?
One second. What has happened more times in your life? Playing Call of Duty or fighting?
playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But that's just with the boys for fun.
Yeah, so if you're better at it, then you're better in that community.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
that doesn't actually translate to anything.
Yeah, and fighting is a hobby of yours.
Yeah, but
Which-
I can handle myself if someone tries to come at me.
And you can also, or somebody can handle themselves if somebody's like, hey homie, let's play Call of Duty.
Yes, but
How often have you fought somebody in the street? Somebody's tried to fight me at the club.
fought someone
Only time
Outside
One,
of past
two.
high school.
past high school.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 times.
the closest I've
Like-
ever come into a fight was in grade 8 when Spencer's girlfriend said that Spencer beat me up.
Way to go full circle, homie. Well, I do remember when we went to Midway once. Literally, some dude just walked up to me, tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "Yo," he just sauced out of his mind. He's like, "Homie, you want to fight?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And he's like, and just walked away. But yeah, so it's still where like it's a good thing to have in the same way that it's good to be good at a game you play with your friends. One is more practical in a survival sense, but we don't live in a survival society. Leisure is more like I have never
More
fought
common.
somebody in my entire life, ever, in any context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which means that if, like, you could die.
in the unlikely event that that ever happens, yeah.
No, if someone comes to fight you, there's a good chance that you could die. Like,
I'm saying it's unlikely that I would ever get in a fight. I have no reason to fight anybody.
Yeah,
Nobody.
but it doesn't matter if you don't have a reason to fight anyone. Someone's gonna find a reason to fight you.
Yeah. Well,
Turns out I've
that
been holding
happened
those
once in the
feelings
5th grade, and I made fun of them, and they went away.
Uh,
Like,
Can't
because-
talk your way out of all your problems, Spencer.
No, you can. You make them feel like a bitch, and then they leave. But yeah, no, like. I'm not, like, I think I could probably hold myself okay if somebody equally unexperienced with fighting. But, like, you're good in that context of fighting.
Mhm.
I'm good in a debate tournament. I'm good, not a video game. Like, if somebody, like, if I was in a race to fix somebody's computer, I'm good at fixing computers. That errors with computers happen more often than street fights for me.
Not for me.
Well, no,
I'm-
because you
I'm
text me
not
to help you
saying-
with your computer.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know what the fuck to do with my computer. I'm not saying that being good at video games is
Mhm.
useless, but I'm saying that being able to fight is a lot more useful. And like, I'm not, and like, I think that I would put you being good at debate on the same plane with being able to fight because because you're good at solving things with talking versus
But if
being
you can't
good
get
able
the
to solve
talking, you
things.
start to hit.
You start hit them with that
Yeah.
left hook.
That's a
like-
big deal.
Yeah, like I've supported like the video game concepts mainly just like to be devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But like realistically, like people are bitches. Everybody sues, especially like in where we live, where everybody's rich. You'll get sued if you try to just punch somebody.
That's why I go to the hood.
Yeah, which is why we need fight pits at clubs.
Hell yeah.
One that would be. Imagine how many people would go
That'd be
there. Just watch fights.
To watch a fight, yeah.
It's just like they have like imagine like a fucking like hanging cage. That'd be dope as hell.
Side cage match? That'd be dope.
I think places need ladders. I think ladders are vastly underappreciated as modes of going from one floor to another in a small area. Stairs take up so fucking much room.
Yeah, but ladders are so like imagine you're in a club with a bunch of drunk people and you have to climb up a fucking ladder.
Well, most clubs are one floor. Like I think in
I
certain,
thought isn't that what
No.
other context are you talking about?
Just in
like,
places in
oh,
general.
like
just
in
places
general, like if I had a ladder
Like
to
at,
go
like,
to the
Millennium.
3rd floor of my house, that'd be nice.
I always found they hurt the bottom of my feet when I climb up there. If I don't have shoes on.
Did you see that one?
That's fair. How often do you go up ladders without shoes?
I used to have a bunk bed.
Ah, that's fair.
Wait, did you not have the bunk bed? Like I had a bunk bed, but it had like flat steps basically for the ladder. It wasn't
Yeah,
like rings
which
for
is
a ladder.
which is a waste of space. It's a
I mean,
pro-
we could take the ladder off, so it
Mm.
all made
Oh,
sense.
I know. I thought you meant like fucking.
No, it wasn't stairs.
Like,
it was like
a
a
flat
ladder.
slats.
Yeah, it was a flat
Yeah,
little step.
like
for
as
you to go.
opposed to like it being a cylinder,
Yeah.
like a rectangle of metal.
Yeah, that's what I had. It's like a
Okay.
rectangle.
So
Not
Ian's just a
rectangle.
bitch, is what we've
cylinder.
determined.
A cylinder is what I had.
But
Yeah. Well, going back.
are you okay?
Going back
Did
to
you
what I
take
still
some of those?
vibing
Did
from
you take? I was
last
gonna
night.
say, did you take something before we started to not tell me.
No, what?
He's just vibing.
We're distracting Ian too much.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you guys stop.
We'll leave. Ian will do a one-man podcast.
What I was saying before with that is like, why are we talking about ladders?
Because I think ladders are better than stairs, and we need them in public places.
Oh, but it's a lot more. I agree. Actually, I agree. Then
Yeah.
unfit people can't get to second
Yeah.
floors.
Yeah, like make it
I was just gonna say,
like I
an
think
exclusive.
places that already have stairs, like leave it. But realistically, people like with how people are with like wheelchairs and accessibility, usually there's an elevator
Mhm.
for people that need it, or a ramp. Leave those. If you don't need that, you can probably take a fucking ladder. It's just like we had this thing that we've used for so long, and they're so useful. It's genuinely the whole reason I'm upset about this is one library at the U of A, because you have to walk so fucking far, like past where you want to go to get to the stairs, to get to the floor that you need to go where you want to go.
Oh, I
And
think
you-
there should
But you'd
just
rather
be
just have a ladder.
There's
from,
like a-
fireman.
There's
pole?
just a corner, not a pole, because you can fall down that.
no,
But,
it's like the fireman pole where you wrap down. I think those would be dope to have around.
I think that would also be neat, but I feel like just like I mean like straight up practicality wise
Huh.
is like a ladder. It has like the metal enclosed thing where if you start to fall back, you just sort of catch yourself on it. Like just get a ladder, put it in the corner. I don't have to walk that far. I'm sick of this shit.
Where I was going with what I was saying earlier is that
With
I
what?
think what I was saying earlier with like the whole alpha thing.
Alpha thing.
The
Okay.
best, like in my opinion, the best thing to be alpha at is social skills. That's like
fair.
that comes like, cause like some people are like, oh, I don't need people. You do. You're a human. Like we're social creatures.
I don't need society. Gang weed society.
Gang weed society. More like I think like that's like the best thing to have is like good social skills while keeping yourself like physically fit.
I agree.
And I feel like
That's why The Rock is the most alpha.
I
My man is oozing charisma out of his ass.
He's got the oozing charisma.
Oozing charisma.
Like yeah, I think he's a solid contender. I don't know, something about it's just like
Let's have a debate right now. Who is the most alpha human on the planet?
Jeff Bezos.
You think so?
He's got a wonky eye, which is a little fucky.
That's an intimidation factor.
It is intimidating. He's got a cool surfer voice, which I'm a fan of. He's pretty jacked, extremely wealthy, and he does a lot of cool shit. I think Amazon as a corporation is sort of the future of corporations, so I feel like he sort of did that. That's pretty relevant.
That's a solid contender.
Because, like, what's more alpha than Amazon? Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
It's kind of won all of it.
Yeah, isn't it the most valuable company, or is it still Google?
I thought Amazon.
I'm pretty sure Apple broke $1 trillion.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
And I think Amazon is getting close, but I think Apple still is in the lead because I think Apple got past $1 trillion in value.
Okay. It's just white people.
It's just white people.
Like,
well, because I think it's also what you value. Based on what I value, I'd say Jeff Bezos is realistically in first, but I'd say Elon Musk is a close second.
I'm a Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor first.
Can fight,
Mm-hmm.
is a savvy businessman, and also has like great social skills, very charismatic.
That's true. He did punch an old man in a bar, though.
Yeah,
Which is a little weird.
Yeah, no, that was a little whack.
That
was him asserting his alpha dominance, though.
Yeah.
The dominance of just beating up an old man.
Just be the fuck.
Because he wouldn't want to try your whiskey. What a guy.
I might have to go.
Oh, have you ever seen...
Oh, 1 second. Let's get Noah's.
Okay.
I was going to say, odd pick, but man, Sylvester Stallone, he's like 70. He's old, but man, he's still fucking jacked.
That's fair.
He's like got lots of businesses. He's got his own like production company. He can fight because of the Rocky movies. So clearly he knows how to throw a punch.
So kind of... Well,
and he's got good charisma.
would you
Like
say-
him on talk shows and shit,
I feel
he's
like
making everyone laugh.
if that's like a category that you...
Yeah, exactly. He knows how to like make him like laugh at himself. Like
Yeah.
at like award shows, people make fun of like Jeff Bezos, and he's like, "What the fuck do you think you're saying? Like, I'm fucking Jeff Bezos." I think he's full of himself.
Jeff Bezos.
He's the richest man in the world.
I know.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
probably
everywhere.
I know.
himself.
But Stallone's got like mad money too.
Would you say that? Fuck! I just forgot his name. Who played John Wick? Keanu
Keanu
Reeves.
Reeves.
That was my bet.
I want to
it's
hang out with that guy. So
Do you think
bad.
Keanu Reeves is the modern Stallone, based on his like training for how he prepares for film, with like gun training in the same way that he prepared for boxing?
No,
I think-
because
What else did he do?
Sylvester
Karate?
Stallone and like
He's a
Keanu
boomer.
Reeves' character is John Wick, and John Wick is like a very quiet, like badass. Where Rocky
Rambo.
was
Rambo.
Rambo.
Look at Rambo. Did you see Rambo Last Blood?
No,
Holy shit, that's a quiet badass, bro. He almost ripped out a dude's collarbone.
because I just know from
it was
Rock,
fucking insane.
I would say Keanu Reeves is the
I think-
zoomer to Stallone's boomer.
I think Keanu Reeves is making a good comeback that I'm really happy about.
Yeah, no.
Bro,
well,
next May, Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 are releasing on the same
bro,
day.
we gotta watch them in the same
International Keanu Day.
Yeah. We need to get the boys together and have a John Wick marathon.
I'd be down.
Hell yeah.
I'd be down. I'm pretty
Bro.
sure it's all on Amazon
I have
Prime.
them all.
Never mind.
I have them all.
I have not seen. I've seen the second one. I don't think I've seen the third
Oh
one.
my gosh. They're so
If we're
good.
pulling from the kind of like the same category as Sylvester Stallone, I think in that category, Arnold Schwarzenegger has Sylvester Stallone beat.
What, as like the boomer alpha?
Yeah. 7-time Mr. Olympia. No, 6-time Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
6-time Mr.
Is he
Olympia.
still the record?
No.
Or who is it?
Lee Haney
Or no?
and Ronnie Coleman are
Right,
tied at
Coleman,
8.
Right.
For what?
Mr.
Or no,
Olympia.
he has
Oh, for
7.
most Mr. Olympia.
Yes, he definitely
Alright.
has 7. Arnold
Arnold,
Schwarzenegger
yeah.
has 7. 7 Mr. Olympia titles, has a whole bunch of businesses,
Mhm.
was the fucking Terminator.
That's true.
Like acted as like
Yeah.
the Terminator,
He was
and then
the governor of
became the governor of California. That man was in the zone for fucking decades.
That's true.
He was like literally.
He's coming to Edmonton. March
I
5th,
know.
he's
I
giving a
saw.
talk.
Yeah, I saw. He was literally hitting home runs on everything they pitched at him for fucking decades.
That is pretty baller.
That is-
I can't deny it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. But I think this again, I feel like who we said that we view as the best goes into more of our personality than who we actually like, who objectively is more so.
Joe Rogan.
Joe
is
Rogan.
So
Joe Rogan is
alpha.
not-
That
Oh
is
my
very
gosh.
true. I think we can all agree to that because we all
Well,
are
no-
kind of
Yeah.
DMT.
Let's live stream the boys doing DMT.
Well, I'm down to get high next podcast.
You just open up that window and
I still have asthma. We'll do the
Just the
things.
pills.
get it fixed.
I'm getting my lungs tested in
Ian, you
March.
probably have asthma too. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, that's not gonna stop. Yeah, like if you got asthma, just do it.
Do
You
the,
don't
do the
hit-
toke, do the puff, do the toke,
Yeah.
do the puff.
Exactly.
It's a method.
It all bounces out.
Yeah, but the amount of steroids that man took.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
short
just a reality in bodybuilding. It's a doped sport, and there's
Which is
no...
fucking sick.
Yeah.
King
Speaking
Patrick
of
said
jacked
also I
up,
saw
you
you
seen, like,
guys
Bro,
using
Stallone,
slobs.
82?
We gotta
Huh?
get you on OBS. We are using Streamlabs OBS.
Ah.
You know what?
nice.
I'm down, Pastro. I got a busy week, but you know what? Message Ian. He won't know what's going on, but he can
I
relay
will
it to me.
not be able to. Just message Spencer and I'll read it later.
Fair enough. You can just message me through the Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
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 I think we should probably end it soon.
I have to piss, so I'll be back.
How about we end it and then you just go
Oh,
piss?
fine.
I know it's a tough life for you,
Ugh,
homie.
I'll just piss in this McDonald's fries cart.
Might as well. Do you want to end it on? You want one last topic, or you want to
One
end it?
last topic.
Bro,
How about?
Okay.
Oh,
I got-
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple. I don't know. There was a couple.
Okay, you just go piss.
Did
No,
you-
we'll pick a topic.
Okay.
Well,
I was wondering.
I was about to beat your ass. Well, I was about to get my ass beat for trying.
I
Cause
got
that's
one
what
that
do
can tie into a few, and then man.
you want me to read them and give my interpretation?
Here, yeah. We've gone over a couple, so like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like the top one, just because like, did you see the Oscars?
I did see the Oscars. I am a big fan of the second.
Right. I read. Yeah.
These are interesting. We definitely should have talked about these earlier.
I know.
Yeah. What's your stance on Lutheranism?
That's just what I was. I'm a Lutheran, so I was like, if you want to talk.
What is Martin
'Cause,
Luther?
like, yeah, basically.
Not the King Jr.
Nah.
The other one.
Basically, 500 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
Catholic Church was pretty corrupt,
Mm-hmm.
selling indulgences, which is basically like, yo, if you give us money.
Yeah, you can do what
You
you
can-
want.
No, it was like
Oh,
you
no,
get
you
into
get
heaven,
heaven?
first.
Yeah.
So basically, buying fast passes to heaven. So Martin Luther's like, nah, that ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
He nailed his like 95 theses on the church door, and they're like, okay, we're gonna kill you because you went against the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
And
As they should.
yeah.
Or no, is that not part of the religion?
No, that's not.
Oh.
Basically, Martin Luther trying to unify the church.
Ian, what do you think of Lutheranism?
I don't even know what that is.
It's the guy that put all the things on the wall. 95 Theses.
Do you know about that?
Catholic
Catholic
Church
Church
was like
indulgences.
buying. to
Anyway,
heaven.
let's.
It was back when Catholic Church was the correct method, which was pay to win.
Anyway, so Spencer, did you watch the Oscars on Sunday?
No.
Mainly, did you see Joaquin
Fucking, did you
Phoenix's
see
speech, though?
Joaquin Phoenix's
No,
speech?
I didn't.
Mans starts talking about how everyone in Hollywood's elite and whatnot,
Mm.
but then he somehow gets into like how we are artificially inseminating cows and stealing their calves.
What?
He started someone talking about how because he's big into animal rights, which
Oh, yeah.
go ahead, but this went like deep and like crazy town. He's like we're
But-
artificially inseminating cows, taking away their calves, taking the mom's milk that's for the calf and putting it in our goddamn coffee and cereal.
Oh, so
He went
He's-
full crazy
he's,
town.
he's
He's-
fantastic actor, but so
Oh, he's-
weird.
Ever
Just
since
whack.
like,
I
he's Johnny
dig it. I
Cash,
think it's funny.
I think it's fucking hilarious because he's just insane,
He
and
is
so
insane.
many celebrities are.
Yeah.
Like watching the Oscars, everyone was like, I don't know. People talk down to like the common man.
I know, and I feel like he kind of opened with that, where he's like, we're all kind of above. Acknowledge that. And then he's like, but also, we need to stop stealing cow's milk from their babies.
But then it's like, at the Golden Globes one, his speech was all about how everyone there was a hypocrite because he's like, yeah, you're all saying we need to control climate change, but then we all fly here in our own private jets and we're flying out as well. It was like whack. So he like starts like, oh dang, he's like calling out everyone, but then nah, he's just crazy because he thinks babies shouldn't be taken.
It's an interesting method where he opens on a point of relatability that's objectively agreeable with, and then he transitions into his rhetoric, which is fair. It's grounded, I think, in good cause.
Yeah.
I think that if I could afford it, I think I enjoy steak.
Absolutely.
I think that artificially created meat is a pretty big thing that's going to come up.
Never
heard of it.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it.
Or if they've it was because if you get like a palmful, it's like
it's
$5,000.
Oh, that's crazy.
But it's getting cheaper as they develop it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But yeah, I think we should close on your second topic.
I don't think I give a fuck about cows.
It's not fuck about cows.
I like a big tall glass of milk.
Cows rip ass so much.
Oh,
it's
wasn't it like their methane
no,
was
like I agree in terms of like artificially created meat is
like
the way to
snagging
go.
milk from cow babies.
Right.
But like in terms of right now, I don't care.
Well, it's because I think what he's referring to is how cow milk is produced.
Basically, like the cruelty towards animals kind of thing.
Well, it's because like in the same way with human women, they don't produce breast milk unless. Why'd you look at my tits when I said that?
you pointed at them.
I was just gesturing with my. If my bazongo, it's because they're pregnant. So the same thing with cows. They don't just produce milk. They have to be impregnated to produce milk. So basically, they impregnate the cow, abort the fetus, and then the cow still has the milk from this pregnancy. So they're saying that that's cruel. It is basically a cycle of abortions on cows to make them produce milk.
Cows aren't humans, though, so I don't care.
Yeah,
bro, how dare you? Hashtag cow lives matter.
Also, milk is not that great for us. We honestly should not drink it past our infancy.
I don't care. I fucking love milk.
If you're lactose intolerant, yeah, but it's like
it's a reasonable source of calcium, and it will increase your acne by 24%. That's like genuinely just a fact. Is it a study confirmed? It's just a direct connection. Dairy products in general increase acne by 24%.
They're fucking good.
I drank milk this morning.
Milk,
don't get me wrong.
Chocolate milk.
Chalky milk.
Bro,
chocolate
brown
milk
cows.
I was just gonna say chocolate milk from those brown cows.
Okay, I think we should close on your theory of our dolphin's gonna take over. Do you have a strong stance?
Little backstory quick.
Back in the 90s.
Grade 11, I'm sitting in class.
Cock out.
I'm about to like head her home, and I look on like Apple News or whatever it was, and the like headline was, "The only thing stopping dolphins from taking over the world is a lack of hands." First off,
smart.
Thoughts on that? And two, do you think we could there's an animal that could eventually somehow take over the world, like a Planet of the Apes scenario?
I think they're gonna.
Do you think there could be an animal that could take over? I want to see if I save that like article.
I think in general we undercredit sea creatures a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all land creatures had to take the time to evolve from the ocean.
Well, we barely know anything about the ocean.
That's true.
We know more about the surface of Mars than we know about our own ocean.
Yeah, well, can you take pictures of it? But,
here.
We can take pictures of the water too.
It was on the National Post.
Pictures of the water. Well, you know, it's the sea floor that we don't know.
Yeah.
We know about animals and shit. We know about
the only thing
stopping. Also, we haven't been all the way down there, so there could be some shit down there. I'm excited. I think boys go scuba diving.
Boys go scuba diving
to the bottom of the deepest depth of the ocean.
Here it is from the National Post. The only thing stopping dolphins from destroying us is a lack of hands, because and the whole article is about how they have social skills that are more advanced than humans, basically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say more advanced.
That's what this person on the National Post was saying.
There was one time I went to Mexico and this dolphin, the trainer put their hand up in a weird shape and it went I think sea creatures in general are smarter than we think because we had to take the time to develop our bodies to walking on land.
Oh, so you believe in evolution from the water?
Yeah. Well,
So do you?
So like, think like there was the one small
Oh, I
organism that
forgot.
expanded to a
These
fish.
two religious boys.
No, I'm sorry. Like that expanded to a fish, then it like grew little legs like an amphibian, then
Not
crawl on the water.
necessarily.
Well,
Like I'm not
how-
informed enough to give distinct opinion. What I
What do
I
you
believe
think?
how it works was there was
the
an
missing
amoeba.
link from Monsters vs. Aliens proves.
My understanding was basically there was an amoeba in like the ocean that, well, because there weren't always oceans. I forget. I think shit's been like kind of on Earth for a
You're
long.
proving the religious argument right now.
No, I don't
Spencer.
remember if amoebas were on the planet before there were oceans or not.
If you believe in evolution, God will strike you down. No,
He's been doing that financially for a while now.
I think I don't know how it happened, but I believe that that's one of the ways that God could have been like, bruh, we just going fish, monkeys.
That's why.
Let's get
That's what I don't get. Why like there's some belief that religious people can't believe in evolution. Like why can't it be just God made like a block and then it like put some shit on it, he sneezed and then they grew and he's like, they're gonna be like this and he just expanded that way.
The worst kind of Christians are young Earth Christians. They only think the Earth is like 10,000 years old.
Oh yeah, creationists.
Well,
No.
I know of them as young Earth Christians.
Is that
Basi-
Christian?
basically,
I
they're
thought
like,
creationists were the type that thought the Earth was exactly 6,000 years old.
No.
That's
No, I
what
they
thought
they
creationists
basically
were
what
like
they
God
do is they
created
add up the age of everyone in the Bible, and then they're like, "This is it, Chief," and it's like, "No, this
Yeah.
no."
That's
Well,
not true.
I remember there was one thing where there was a moment where I like questioned my belief in science for a moment, and then I found an article that explained it, which was there was this one guy, 'cause you know like the flood of Noah's Ark,
Yeah.
and
Didn't they find pieces of it or something like that? I
Noah's
heard.
Ark,
Yeah.
or the flood.
That pieces of no, obviously Noah's Ark. What do you, bro? This water.
No, I'm saying.
Shit, I found pieces of that flood.
Well, because what I'm saying is what they had found was evidence of the Earth being covered in water, effectively in the sediment from I guess young Earth, is that you said it was? I thought it was creationists that believe in that, but it was that at about the time that Noah's Ark would have happened in this context is when they found shit in the sediment. But also, it was also proven that there was a period of about, I think, 15,000 years where it rained every day and did not stop on Earth. And that's what that's from. Like, it didn't flood, it just rained for 15,000 years.
Well, that's like how
Noah
in
didn't
the
vibe
Bible.
on an ark for
No,
15,000 years.
no. I'm
No.
saying that's how in the Bible. That's how God flooded the earth. It's
Yeah.
like He made it rain.
Yeah, no. And
I
I'm
make
saying,
it rain on my
Make it
hose.
But he's saying that happened. How long did it happen in the Bible?
40 days, 40 nights straight of just like torrential downpour, pretty much.
Yeah, nah.
And then
it
they
was
revived
15,000
and-
years. So yeah, like that's humans have only.
But then
been
again,
around
we
for
don't know
200,000
how
years.
long, like in Old
Well-
Testament times, what they thought a day was. If it's like the 24 hours we have.
Well, he
Yeah.
was
Because
alive.
then also, like,
Wasn't Noah alive for the whole thing?
he was alive for like 900 years, 600 years.
Yeah, that's.
So then, in that context, a day is probably like 5 seconds.
Well, also,
like 40 minutes. Make it way less impressive. This dude just went in a boat. There was like a rain for a little while,
Yeah.
then he went back out.
well, I saw an article about how like a couple like million years ago or a couple thousand or I don't know. A while back. It
A
was
while back.
in the day. Earth's days only used to be 18 hours.
That probably would have been millions, if not billions.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Anyways, that's kind of like the whole thing
That's
with
why we have leap years.
creation as well. Like in Genesis, it's like, oh, God created like all this stuff over 7 days. Well, what does God think a day is? He's just like, well, we're gonna separate the land from the water, and then he just like did DMT and was out for like a billion years.
Yeah, no, like it's possible. Like again, I don't come from a religious standing. I think the way that I perceive it is the only way that God could fit in my understanding is if God like caused the clap of existence and then she just happened.
Clap of my ass cheeks is what caused that.
Like, there's one.
Thanos snapped it all
Thanos
into
snapped-
existence.
I haven't talked about it on the podcast. There's this one theory of existence and like universe creation I think is really fascinating, which is that basically intelligent life is what creates universes. And that because you always like you think about what is the universe expanding into, and the idea is that
Pretty much whatever we can
I heard
imagine
an-
is just getting what?
now we can like physically make a universe. like as we're
Like
getting
Rick
like
and Morty shit.
yeah, like well, but like not like Morty teleporters and shit. No, it's like genuinely. The idea is that some universes can reproduce and some universes can't, and the ones that can't are ones that never formulate intelligent life, and the ones that do is because they have intelligent life. Like it's basically intelligent life is the reproductive system
That's
of
interesting.
a
I think
universe.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
so like if a species gets intelligent enough that it can make a universe, it does that, and then it expands into that universe.
I heard a theory that I thought was interesting, but probably isn't true. Is
Mhm.
that the universe is like beating like a heart. So like everything is expanding right now, but eventually
it's
it's
gonna
all
contract.
gonna contract back in, and
Oh,
then
shit.
Big Bang, and then it expands again. It's probably not true, but I thought it was interesting.
Well, it's again where science it's hard based on our current understanding. You could not write down the number for how long it would be until it would come back again, or it's possible that the beat is just like a boom, a really long expanding, and then it's immediate clap back.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people are asking what happened before the bang. Well, because the Big Bang Theory has been proven at this point. So, like looking at it, well, in the same
What
way
a
that,
great show.
yeah, well, in the same way that
Sheldon.
evolution has been proven at this point.
What
Like-
kind of like we think this is what happens, that we just have some holes in like.
No, like it happened. Like, effectively, it's again where there's like debates about terminology of what like theory means. It means theory that based on everything that we've currently learned and everything that we understand, that is what happened. Something could come and like something could potentially change that. In the same way that I could potentially like have like my brain could just shut off.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not going to happen, but it potentially could. Like based on everything that we know, that is what happened. There could be something that's uncovered that would change that theory. It's like with evolution, but like we have seen evolution happen. Evolution can be proven in a matter of an hour with mold.
Well, yeah, I feel like someone would need to come forward. I actually didn't know that. I thought that we still were like, we kind of think that this is how it happened, but we're not 100% sure.
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, that's new. That's news to me. But I kind of think that like, unless someone comes forward with some like groundbreaking like shit about like this is what happened, like.
Which is almost impossible
Yeah.
because we only have the perspective of a single planet in a single solar system in a single galaxy.
Until globalization, but the universe.
Universalization.
Mr. Frimpong, I learned that one from you.
I support. I
What
think
guy?
I'm a fan of
I miss that
globalization.
guy.
I think that there
I
should
do
be a
too.
global government to make a basis for people going to other planets. I
Frimpong,
think we should.
come on over to the podcast sometime.
Well, because that's why I'm a favor of global government. Is I think that we will eventually have governments on Mars and on the Moon. How are they going to interact with countries? No, with the planets. And then we have the solar system government.
My concern is big government.
I don't like bigger.
Well-
but things get smaller contextually as
Well,
we get more interconnected.
I think that could work, but we have to make the systems that we have right now work. Because like think about like the U.S. government right now. The
Yeah.
U.S. government blows through $10 billion a
And
day.
I think
it's
it's-
a bloated mess.
I think it's failing due to international influences that surpass a national government.
Ooh, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Well, 'cause-
big brain.
Yeah, well, because looking at it, like, most corporations in the U.S. are transnational.
Mm-hmm.
So that means most of their profit, like, the idea of outsourcing, like, having all their business in different countries, like, that's how they make their money.
Mm-hmm.
They're based in the U.S., they sell in the U.S., they produce and manufacture in different countries. That's why they're fucked.
Yeah.
Is because, and as well, there's, like, very easy ways to skirt taxes as a company that large.
I do
in
them
the States.
myself.
Taxes.
Fuck taxes.
Taxes are a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pull a Wesley Snipes and just.
I
not
just
pay
think
'em.
we have to make like the systems that we have work now,
Mhm.
like the election of your mayor, because like everyone like especially and this is like a big thing in the States and Canada too.
Mm.
When the federal election comes around, everyone is like immediately becomes like very tribal, and it matters so much who the president is.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't. It
Yeah.
needs to matter who like the mayor of your city is.
Yeah.
And then in Canada, it would be who our premier is.
Do you know who the mayor of Sherwood Park is?
I don't.
His name's Joe something.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm saying
Joe-
somebody else.
Never mind.
Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan. No, just like, yeah, it needs to be the most power over a spot should be its like mayor, and then
Like the municipality should be controlled at most by municipality.
yes.
Actually, I have a test tomorrow. The midterm I have tomorrow is on Canadian government.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been discussing about how like the separation of power between provincial and federal. And the Canadian federal government, literally in the Constitution, wrote, quote, unimportant powers go to the province.
Oh wow.
But at the time, those unimportant powers were healthcare and education.
Oh.
Because at the time, those were just run through local churches. So nobody really gave a shit. It was really more of a municipal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're the most relevant things in our
Okay.
elections.
Yeah.
Do you know why the school system in the States is so fucked? Because do you know how they get their funding?
Based on performance?
No, it's from the taxes of the area around it.
Ah.
So if you're in a shitty neighborhood, your school gets shitty funding.
Mm-hmm. So then your school's fucked.
Oh yeah, so then
I
you're
like-
screwed and the cycle continues.
Yeah, I not to just like toot like Europe's horn constantly, but I think like Germany has an excellent system where it's federal, so all schools get the exact same funding across the entire country. One thing I want to cut in real quick about Alberta specifically is one, fuck Jason Kenney. Two, he
Agreed. Okay, that's a firm agreement.
we got
that's a
we
firm
got
agreement.
we got all hands there. Because he cut funding to universities, and then he's like, all right, I will give you money back based on the merit of the university, which means that universities that do worse will get less funding, so they cannot educate students as well, so they will do more worse, so things get shittier. And the University of Alberta, like, I go to the one that's going to get the most money. I know that for a fucking fact. I go to the U of A. But every other university, like, we have friends that go to Edmonton's Christian University. They're fucked.
Yeah.
Because realistically, their performance isn't going to be as good. They're going to get less funding. Then, there's just going to be less universities that can't teach as well. It's a
like
bad system.
My issue with, like, in Canada, my issue with the federal Conservative Party, as well as the United Conservative Party of Canada.
The UCP Alberta.
Yeah, UCP Alberta.
Yeah, all good.
Their whole thing is like, we need smaller government, we need to like cut regulations, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really just, we're gonna play it like we're a small government, but we're really not.
We're taking over kind of thing.
And
Yeah.
like,
Well,
okay,
because they're not going to get, because that means they're removing power from themselves.
Exactly.
yeah.
Which they're not going to do.
Yeah, they're not gonna do. Which is like, that's one of the biggest problems with the States, is that slowly over time the president has just increased more and more in power, and now anyone who gets in the president's office is not going to be like, you know what I want? Less power.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, like, our election system is so shit. Because it overrepresents the winner. As opposed to having it where percentage directly correlates to the amount of votes, like the amount of seats a party gets. We have it where it's the amount of votes per riding. So then who knows what the fuck is going on in a riding?
Yeah.
Like, I think riding should be represented again by the mayor, by the municipality, or by the province.
Yeah. Just
So,
like,
you don't need federal ridings.
the only thing that really the federal government should be concerned with is like maintaining the military. If we get attacked, like, that's when they're doing their shit, and making sure that we have consistent rules across wherever we go.
Which we don't
Also,
even remotely.
Yeah, not at all. And it's even worse in the States.
Yeah, well, it's because the whole idea, like, in the Canada and the States, is that it's a union of smaller powers. Like, it isn't, like, the state, like, the national state is not key. It is the provincial or state that is more relevant to the culture of people. Like, I think as Alberta boys, we relate more to people in Alberta than we do in Ontario.
Yeah.
Or in Quebec. We're all Canadian. We don't give a fuck about the other provinces.
Yeah.
Because that's just kind of the culture of, like, I guess, colonized nations, which I guess is the only really way to describe it. Just nations born of colonialhood.
You know that right-wingism Alberta?
I've looked at right-wingism Alberta a little, yeah.
Okay, I need to unfollow because it fucking sucks. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't follow them.
Yeah, anyways, I also, since that one guy whose emoji was the helicopter left,
Yeah, L.
right-wingism has just kind of been on a slow decline,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, shout out L. If L's in chat.
Yeah, we really enjoyed when
Can we
we
get
were
an
at
F for
right-wingism.
L? Because L was a champion.
Yeah. Anyways, they posted this thing that was like, and it was this like, it was a Reddit thing, I think, where someone posted it, and they were like,
Poor move off the bat.
yeah. And it was like, someone posted this thing that was like, I was like in a relationship with this girl for like 2 years. She was like super nice, like everything was fantastic. And then one time she like told me that before they dated, she participated in a gangbang, so he immediately dumped her and started calling her like a piece of shit slut.
Glorious.
Yeah, just like, so that whole like the whole like there's been a reaction to the constant like woke like left like have sex with whoever you want with like no consequences.
Which is, if somebody's had 6
Before marriage?
Yeah,
Just like, and it's so they're equally bad.
Yeah.
It's like, that was, first of all, that's pretty much, if it only happened once, that pretty much is just experimenting. You're just like
Yeah.
what's up? Like,
I think it's important to try shit.
yeah, it's
like,
important to try shit.
because
And-
like everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Whether you whatever you believe happens afterwards, you will die. That's
Yeah.
the universal constant and certainty.
And taxes.
And death and taxes.
Like, I myself, I don't think that I would ever
I
get
think
to
you say, I
die.
myself avoid taxes.
I thought you were gonna be
What?
like, I myself will not die.
I myself
Ian is the other-
tax evade at every corner.
Ian is the third constant. Death, taxes, and Ian.
Ian.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was gonna say, like, I myself, I don't think I would ever participate in a gangbang. Like, I don't. That's not really like my kind of thing.
Receiving or take or giving?
Yeah.
I'd
That's
participate in a
step.
gangbang with the boys only.
Especially with their socks on.
It's however many clones as we can get of Eric Butler.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the determiner
Yes.
of whether or not
Yeah.
Ian will participate.
Yeah. So I don't think like I would ever do that. But if you want to do that, like, go and do it. Like, if you're in relationships with someone, don't. Unless
Yeah.
yeah, but
Unless they're joining. Like,
unless that's like a thing that you guys like to do.
Yeah. Well, I think in relationships, without saying, what shit that happens before a relationship, like, that's not your business. Because it was, like, I think it's relevant to know, like, in the event they have a disease. But outside of, like, medical concerns, like, that was something they did outside of you being part of their life. So
Yeah.
you need to not be concerned with that. Like, not as, like, I was saying, if they did, like, some fucking weird shit, like, illegal sexual stuff, then no.
Like, if they're a pedophile, probably go to
That's-
your nearest police station.
That's just not good.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, yeah, like I fucked a couple dudes at once,
Yeah.
then it's like, I
It's like, I feel like that's, like, it's good to know, and, like, you as a person can take that in and, like, digest it however you will.
like it is.
But being like, if you, like, being like, oh, like, you're, like, a slut, and, like, I'm gonna dump you, even though we've been together for 2 years and everything has been great.
Yeah.
yeah.
And even, like, she's, like, he said in the post that she said, like, oh, like, I was just experimenting, like, it's not something that I would want to do again.
yeah.
And the whole thing, my whole issue was that, as that right-wing in Alberta, like, the caption was like, totally in support of this Reddit post.
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's like the thing that like Donald Trump put up on his Instagram. It's like a clip from, I forget what show, but it's like this. It's like a guy driving a van, and he like accidentally like swerved to a motorcycle a little bit, and this guy on the motorcycle was like, Curb Your Enthusiasm. The guy on the motorcycle was like, you fucking idiot, you fucking, and just like cursing this guy out. So then the guy was like, shit. So like he puts on like a MAGA hat, and he's like, and then the guy's like, just watch out next time. It's like he's saying that dumbasses that just get mad easy are Trump fans.
Uh-huh.
But Trump didn't pick up on that and put it on his Instagram. But yeah, I think that things have gotten cringy since L left, because basically he was pretty good about like dialogue. Because I remember with like the official right-wingism thing, I put my name in to be an admin at one point to provide like a left-wing perspective, because I thought that'd be an interesting dynamic. And he did consider it. he then they didn't go through with it because they wanted to keep it a right wing page.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he was willing to consider the perspectives of a socialist on a right wing page as valuable, I think is extremely big. For
Yeah,
lack of
no,
better
it's
terms.
big. Like, that's one thing that I always try to be is like, I have like my ways that I think. I think everyone, and you do too, and I think
Yeah.
you do as well. Is
Yeah.
like I have my ways of like how I think, and like I have some beliefs that I'm set in, and that you're not gonna like that you're not gonna like just like freedom of will, because there isn't a good argument against that.
Yeah, which is just, but we could not be.
Anyways, but I think you always need to be open-minded to the other side and at least listen without screaming at them.
And I think that notion of open-mindedness is a good note to end on.
Yeah.
One where it's, love thy neighbor, unless it's illegal.
Unless they're ugly.
Or if they're ugly.
Yeah.
Or if you just don't want to. You don't have
Unless
to.
they're just a jackass. You know what? You don't have to love your neighbor.
Maybe
I
they
guess.
don't mow their lawn great. It's making the neighborhood look kind of shitty because it's just bad.
Love your neighbor only if they deserve it. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give people what they deserve. Respect yourself. But as much as you deserve. I think that's a good note to end on. Alright, well, good night everybody. Thanks for
Check out
watching.
the Instagram.
Oh yeah, we got
It's Always
it.
Saturday
The link
podcast.
is here for the Instagram and the YouTube.
Yes, thank you everyone for
At
listening.
It's Always Saturday podcast on Instagram. Shout out our boy Noah. You can find him on Instagram and nowhere else. Well, also at work.
Probably at work.
But
Follow
yeah.
people at Robinhood. I'll see ya there.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.